Hello, welcome once again to another video for your La Liga predictions. I hope you had a wonderful game week last week. And so we're going to jump straight into it, and we're going to start with Girona versus Atletico Bilbao. And my predictions for this game is that I'm going to take this one to be a draw. And I saying both teams will score. And in terms of my predicted score, I'm saying 1-1 here. On the handicap system, if you were to take a bet on the handicap system, you'd have to go with +1. Let me see, you go with Girona +1. This means that Girona will start the game with a goal. If this game should end 1-1, then Girona will win. This would win this bet. And if this game ends, Girona loses this game 1-0, then on the handicap system, it will be a tie. So, alright, so for this game now, just stay with a draw. I never really choose a proper handicap, but in this case, we're going to go with a handicap. I'll go with a +1 for Girona. Alright, so recapping my predictions for Girona versus Atletico Bilbao, I'm expecting a draw in this game, expecting both teams to score. My predicted scoreline is 1-1. If I were to take a bet on the handicap system, I go with Girona at +1. Alright, those are my predictions for Girona versus Atletico Bilbao. Now we move on to Getafe versus Cadiz. And for this game now, Getafe versus Cadiz, I'm expecting Getafe to take care of business. Not going to be easy against Cadiz though. Getafe to win. Expecting both teams to score as well. And in terms of a combination bet, I go with either team to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline for me, I'm saying 2-1 in favor of Getafe. And on the handicap system, you go ahead and you take Getafe for a draw. Alright, Getafe to win here, but you're going to take them for a draw based on my predicted scoreline. Okay, so recapping predictions for Getafe versus Cadiz. And this one here, I'm expecting Getafe to win. I'm expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of a combination bet, I go with either team to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of Getafe. And on the handicap system, I'm going to take a draw. Alright, so those are my predictions for Getafe versus Cadiz. Now we move right along. Real Valladolid versus Elche. And now for this game, I'm expecting here, this should be close as well. I think this one should be close, and but I'm still expecting Real Valladolid to take care of business. Expecting them to win there, both teams not to score. In terms of a combination bet, I'll go with either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline for me, I'm going to give Real Valladolid this one 2-0. On the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and take Real Valladolid to win by a goal. Alright, so we're getting $3.20 for that, and that's lovely. Alright, recapping predictions for Real Valladolid versus Elche. I'm expecting Real Valladolid to win. I'm expecting both teams not to score. Combination bet, either to win and both not to score. In terms of predicted scoreline, I'm saying 2-0 in favor of Real Valladolid. And on the handicap system, I'll go ahead and take Real Valladolid to win this one by a goal. Alright, so those are my predictions for Real Valladolid versus Elche. And we'll move right along to our next game, which is Celta de Vigo versus Osasuna. And for this game now, I'm expecting Celta to hold fort here. I'm going to take this one for a draw between both these teams. I wouldn't be surprised if Celta could come up and pull off a victory being at home, but I'm expecting this one to end in the draw, both teams to score. In terms of scoreline, I'm going to say here we're going to have a 1-1 draw. There's another goal. I think it should be coming from Celta, but you never know with a game of football, eh? Alright, so I'm expecting a draw there. And in terms of the handicap system, if I were to take something on the handicap system, if I were to go on the handicap system, go it on a limb, I should say, and take something on the handicap system, I'd go with Osasuna at +1. Alright, if I were to take something on the handicap system, but based on my score, and I seem to be having a draw here, so you can't really get any, just can't place a bet on the handicap system. But recapping predictions for Celta de Vigo versus Osasuna, I'm expecting this one to be a draw. Expecting both teams to score. I'm saying we're going to have a 1-1 scoreline. And if I were to take a bet on the handicap system, I go with Osasuna at +1. Alright. So those are my predictions for Celta de Vigo versus Osasuna. And now we'll move on to our next game, which is Barcelona versus Almeria. As you know, a number of these teams will be playing in Europe this week. We'll see how much of a bearing it has on them during these games on the weekends. But for example, like Barcelona, they are no longer a part of the Champions League, so they might be resting some players. So they should have a fair enough squad and a well-oiled machine for this game against Almeria. Hey, as usual, we're expecting Barcelona to take care of business here, and I'm going to expect both teams to score as well. And so in terms of a combination, I'd say either to win and both to score. Predict the scoreline from my point of view. I'm going to say Barcelona to win this one 3-1. On the handicap system, I'll go ahead and take Barcelona to win this one by a goal. Not getting much, but fine. Alright, so recapping predictions for Barcelona versus Almeria. I'm expecting Barcelona to win, expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of a combination bet, this is where it gets nice. $2.60. Either team to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 3-1 in favor of Barcelona, and on the handicap system I'm taking Barcelona to win by a goal. You could also take Barcelona to win by 2 goals as well if you like that, but I'm taking them to win by a goal in this game based on their recent performances and how they have been dragging along. Alright, so our next game is Atletico Madrid versus Espanyol. I'll jump straight into that one, and right here now we're expecting Atletico to take care of business, expecting them to do so, both teams not to score. In terms of a combination bet, I go with either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying here that we're going to have a 2-0 victory for Atletico Madrid. And in terms of the handicap system, I'll go ahead and I'll take Atletico Madrid to win this one by a goal. Alright, so predictions for Atletico Madrid versus Espanyol. I'm expecting Atletico Madrid to win. I'm saying here both teams not to score as well. And in terms of a combination bet, I go with either team to win and both not to score. In terms of the predicted scoreline, I'm saying 2-0 here in favor of Atletico Madrid. And on the handicap system, I take Atletico Madrid to win this one by a goal as well. Alright, so those are my predictions for this particular game, and now we're going to move right along to our next game, which is Real Sociedad versus Valencia. Alright, Cup is coming up also, folks. I might do a thing for that to look out in case I do some predictions for the World Cup. Alright, then back to Real Sociedad versus Valencia. And now for this game now, hey, we're expecting Real Sociedad to take care of business here. Both teams to score, I'm saying. And I'm going to say either to win and both to score on the combination system, that is, on the combination side of the business. In terms of predicted scoreline, I'm going to take here 3-1 in favor of Real Sociedad. And in terms of the handicap system, I'll take Real Sociedad to win by a goal as well. So recapping predictions for Real Sociedad versus Valencia. I'm expecting Real Sociedad to win, both teams to score. In terms of a combination bet, I go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 3-1 in favor of Real Sociedad, and on the handicap system, I'm going to take Real Sociedad to win this one by a goal. Alright, so those are my predictions for Real Sociedad versus Valencia. And now we'll move right along into our next game, and this game is Villarreal versus Real Mallorca. Alright then, so Villarreal versus Mallorca. And for this game, I'm expecting here Villarreal to win, and also I'm going to say both teams not to score. So in terms of a combination bet, I'll go with this one here, either team to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline for me in this game, I'm saying here I'm expecting a Villarreal to win this one 2-0. In terms of the handicap system, I'll go ahead and take them to win by a goal. Alright, so recapping predictions for Villarreal versus Mallorca. I'm expecting here Villarreal to win, both teams not to score. And in terms of a combination, I'll go with either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline 2-0 in favor of Villarreal. And on the handicap system, I'm taking Villarreal to win this one by a goal as well. Those are my predictions for Villarreal versus Real Mallorca. or Mallorca. Once there is that. So, and those are my predictions for this game. Now for the next game, Real Betis versus Sevilla. We're going to have here. I'm going to see this one to be a draw. Wouldn't be surprised if Betis pull off a win here, because Sevilla, they have been rather unpredictable this season. So not unpredictable, they have been poor. That's the proper word. They have been poor this season, so I'm expecting a draw here, expecting both teams to score. In terms of score line, I'm going to say here we're going to have a 2-all draw. In terms of if you would like to go on the handicap system, even though I have this one as a draw, I would go and I would take Betis here, win by a goal, but I'm going to take a draw. Alright, that's what I do. Alright, so recap and predictions for Real Betis versus Sevilla. I'm expecting this one to end in a draw, expecting both teams to score as well. Predicted scoreline 2-all. And in terms of the handicap system, if you'd like to go there, that is, I'd go ahead and I'll take Betis, and I'll take Betis to win by a goal, but I'm going to take a draw option. Alright, so those are my predictions for Real Betis versus Sevilla. And now we're going to move on to the final game for this game week, and this is Rayo Vallecano versus Real Madrid. Real Madrid will be seeking to win here and strengthen their position in La Liga. So let's go ahead and get straight into them predictions for you. Alright, so for this game, I'm expecting both teams to score. I'm expecting also Real Madrid to take care of business, so I'm going to say either to score or either to win, and both to score. Alright, my humblest apologies. Yes, predicted scoreline. Alright, I'm saying 2-1 here in favor of Real Madrid. In terms of the handicap system, I'll go ahead and I'll take Real Madrid because they're capable of doing so. Depends on which team, depends on how they play. I will take them. I'm going to take them to win this one by a goal as well. But if it does end 2-1, then it would be a draw on the handicap system, just to take note of that, folks. Alright, so predictions for Rayo Vallecano versus Real Madrid. I'm expecting Real Madrid to take care of business here. Yeah, I'm expecting them to win. I'm also expecting both teams to score. In terms of a combination, I'll go with either team to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of Real Madrid. It could be 3-1 as well, depending on how things goes on the day. And on the handicap system, I'm going to take Real Madrid to win this one by a goal. Alright, so those are my predictions for Real Madrid versus Rayo Vallecano, and those are all my predictions for the league for this week. I hope you're making notes, and I wish you best of luck as it relates to putting together your betting slips as usual. So whenever you're putting them together, you take your time and you just try and find your best 3 bets or your best 5 bets right across all games, and then you slip together and then you put some money in that, and hopefully you get all the correct ones on one slip, yeah, and so that you can win. So thank you again for your time.